Hello and welcome to BQ Prime. I am Vikas Srivastav. Today Adani Group has secured $553 million funding from US government agency, which is Development Finance Corporation. This, the company claims, is one of the largest in the port sector in Sri Lanka, and also it has kind of reposed faith back into Adani Group in terms of the financial and execution capabilities of the company is concerned. Today we have with us Mr. Karan Adani. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Adani Ports and SEZ, and he will talk to us about the financing as well as their terminal in Colombo and their future plans. Welcome to BQ Prime, Mr. Adani.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how important has been this funding for the group? If you can take our viewers through this.
Sure. So this is, first of all, this is a very vigorous process that we've been going through for the last 18 months. With DFC. This is a project financing arrangement that we have achieved, a 20-year loan and a very competitive pricing. This is the reason why it is extremely important is because if I'm not wrong, this would be the first Indian port company for a port asset we are getting a DFC financing. Second, based on their process, the rigor that they have gone through, it just repose faith that on our execution capability, on our ability to make a viable business out of it, and also on our governance structure. That was a very important part for getting this loan as well.
Right. And you said it's a 20-year term loan. Can you talk about the structure of the financing in terms of the total debt or the equity contribution and the return on investment?
Sure. So it's the project is financed at 70-30, 70% debt, 30% equity. And that is for the phase one, which would be roughly $700 million of investment, and then with phase two it would be roughly $1.2 billion of another. 1.2 billion will be the total investment, including phase one and phase two, and the return we are expecting minimum of 16% on this asset.
So this is the maximum return that you have on
minimum.
This in terms of other ports, if you compare. So this, how do you place this return?
So if you look at our other assets, Mundra, which is our largest port, which has been in operations now almost 25 years, there our return today stands at almost 22%. So as the number of years happen, I'm sure this terminal will also achieve that sort of milestone.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about this Colombo Terminal that you have partnered with John Keells and with the Colombo Ports Authority?
Sure. So here we have a JV partner. We have John Keells, which is one of Sri Lanka's largest private player conglomerate. And also Sri Lankan Port Authority is also a partner, and APSEZ holds 51%. It is a 1.4 kilometer of berth length, and basically we can handle at simultaneously 3 vessels of 20,000 TEUs. So just to give you in perspective, one vessel is equal to almost 10 football fields. So that's the size of vessels that we can handle over here, and more importantly, this will add a capacity of almost 3.2 to 3.3 million TEUs into our portfolio. More importantly for us, why we took this position is because if you see, almost 50% of India's container gets transshipped into Colombo, and we took this position, and and the reason we are making it such a large terminal, more efficient terminal, is because we want to give surety to our customers who are using our ports in India, to give them the seamless connectivity, visibility, transparency on their movement of volume, as well as give our partners same sort of operational experience benchmark as what we are giving in India. And hence with that we are hoping that with that we would be able to help in reducing the overall cost of logistics of our customers. That's the end.
So how this would complement your one of the largest transshipment hub that you're building in Vizhinjam in Kerala also?
So Vizhinjam and Colombo will be complementary to each other. If you look at this part of the world, and if you look at this peninsula, we are always running short of capacity. And the trade is moving so much faster, much ahead than the infrastructure is able to keep pace. And we are very confident that with Vizhinjam as well as with Colombo, they would act as a complementary and give our customers a better solution based on what they like, what they prefer. And as we said, that both of these terminals will give the same experience, same operational benchmark, and the same savings to the customers.
Okay. Apart from Sri Lanka, are you also looking at adding some more strategic ports to your portfolio?
So we keep looking at our opportunities outside India. We are more focused in neighboring countries, like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. We are already there. Eastern Africa. We're looking at Vietnam as well as a possibility. We look at Mediterranean. After Israel. How do we connect other countries in that region? So we keep exploring at those opportunities, and the idea is that how do we create a sort of a supply chain network, keeping India in mind, and to give more strength to those supply chain. Indian manufacturers as well as importers give that strength and increase trade and help strengthen that supply chain.
Right. Today in one of our interactions, we also got to know that you all have proposed to the Sri Lankan government to start a renewable project here, a wind project. Would you like to give some more details on that?
Sure. So we have given a proposal, to set up a wind farm, roughly 500 megawatts, and supply into the country, into Sri Lanka. And on a longer term basis, we would like to see if there is a possibility of exporting power from Sri Lanka into India as well, renewable power. As you know that the distance between India and northern part of Sri Lanka is just roughly 40-45 kilometers. So with the transmission line, if there is a possibility and to connect to the Indian grid, so similar to what we have done in terms of supplying power to Bangladesh, where the power plant is in Jharkhand and we are supplying power into Bangladesh through the grid. Through a dedicated grid. So similar sort of proposal we are looking at. We have given to the government, and it's under examination. And we are hopeful that we will be able to move into the next stage of soon.
Okay. What will be the investment on this project?
So roughly it would be $700 to $800 million to start with, and then it will be in subsequent.
So you have anything in your mind, like how much the capacity of this project will be, like in the second phase?
So we've given a proposal of total 2 gigawatts right now, but we have a lot of studies to be done, and we'll see based on the infrastructure as well as based on the studies how much more or less we have to do. But initially we think it will be approximately 2 gigawatts.
One last question on overall, how do you see the outlook for the ports and shipping sector for Adani also, and also for the international and Indian companies?
So I think for APSEZ, we are very confident that by 2025 we would be hitting a milestone of 500 million tons of volume handling. And by 2030 we are hoping that we would be number one port globally in terms of volume. If you look at the overall shipping sector as well as port sector, I think looking at overall scenario, we are seeing a lot of supply chain which was more on a global network becoming more of a regional network. And we do see countries like India playing a very critical role in that regional network and creating those hubs and supply chain for those regional networks. we do believe that India is at a very sweet spot in terms of the next 10 years, so in terms of growth, in terms of what capacity as well as what kind of trade we can generate. And we are very confident on that, and especially the kind of infrastructure that the country is adding. We do believe that India would be perfectly placed in terms of to help in the regionalization of the supply chain.
Okay. Thank you very much for talking to BQ Prime and NDTV.
Thank you.
It was our pleasure and wish you a very happy Diwali also.
Same to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.